Welcome to the Top Shelf Grumbling podcast with Dan the Don Walls. This episode is brought to you by our sponsors, Lawn Hub for all your lawn care needs, Price Cutter, the best meat in town, Hale State, Russell Motors, go see Austin, he's got what you need, Butcher Block Restaurant, voted Best Biscuit and Best Breakfast 2025. Coming to you from the Wilder Fitness Studio, presenting a Where You Media production, this is Top Shelf Grumbling. Are you ready? Hell yeah.
Hello.
Damn right.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're back here with the Top Shelf Grumbling podcast with Dan the Don Walls. This is our second episode. We're going to just recap a little bit of what happened this weekend, any bad beats we got, any bad bets we may have made on Saturday, any bets we decided not to take and probably should have, and then we're going to go over a little NFL stuff maybe, some picks and stuff maybe for that.
Talk a little Thursday night football.
Talk a little Thursday night football. Maybe a little instant reaction to Bill Belichick losing his girlfriend.
God.
And a football game in the same night,
so
probably.
hot, though.
I heard he just retired in the middle of the third quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. His hoodie caught fire. Just instantly combusted.
Well, anytime you put any bets in, even if you have a winning weekend, you're still going to have some bad ones no matter what.
That's true. That's true.
I don't know.
What's your bad beat from this weekend?
The worst one, Southern Miss. I knew that bet was beat from the first 5 minutes. It looked like midgets out there compared to Mississippi State.
Yeah, I believe their coach had a comment about not paying $15 million for of offensive and defensive line, and that was their problem. So he blamed it on not having any money over down there.
Well, he shouldn't have took the job.
Yeah, he left Marshall with piles of money up at Marshall. The Thunder and Herd always have a lot of money. Anyway,
driven by there, it's a beautiful place.
Yeah, Southern. I went, I think 4-3 Saturday. Won a little bit of money, but I lost on Southern. It was bad.
You were heavy on them all week too.
Yes,
my pick of the week, my pick of the day did hit Toledo.
Little C over here is talking about money line. I'm talking out.
And Toledo did cover, but it was lucky they were getting 24-3 in the fourth quarter. But I'll take it. I'll take a little bit of win over a little bit of loss anytime.
Yeah. Well, we want to talk about the elephant, Alabama, in the room. What happened? Did they just get completely whipped?
I mean,
they got beat on every aspect of that game. Outside of that first drive, they were dominated in the trenches. They could get no penetration defensive line. They looked horrible schematically on defense. It was just, and I'm hoping for the SEC's sake that they just got dealt with by a really good team.
That looked bad to me.
I know you're going to see all the stuff posted on social media. That's that 18, that star linebacker just absolutely walking himself down the field. Nick Saban would have taken him and would have put him on the bus and left immediately. That never would have happened. You think Caleb DeBoer's not got these guys, somebody was showed, they're all doing TikTok videos and all this stuff, and is that brand of football?
I think that's the reason why Saban quit. He was sick of dealing with stuff like that.
Yeah. Or it's getting harder and harder to get them to buy in.
Yeah, I think that's football today.
DeBoer's run game was absolutely non-existent. They
were down Jam Miller too.
Yeah.
But still, you got to have. They used to have 3 running backs that you tried any one of them out there, and they'd start in every SEC team.
We said about Ole Miss all year last year. If they could just get 3 yards from the line of scrimmage, that changes the outcome in 3 games.
Yeah.
You got to have a run. You have to have a run game.
Yeah.
Bama fans are talking about firing DeBoer. They can't. It's going to cost them. I can't remember. I saw earlier like $60 million maybe to buy him out.
Yeah.
Plus the boosters, they got to spend $20 million on their players. They can't afford to do it. I don't think. Not yet.
I still don't know why DeBoer took the job. He could have been a living legend at Washington for the next 20 years, and here he is in the SEC getting trampled.
Well,
speaking of the SEC getting trampled,
somebody's got to succeed. Nick Saban. I hear a lot of folks.
You want to follow the legend. You want to be the man. You want to follow the man who followed the legend.
Follow the man that followed the man. But they said, we should have gone with a Nick Saban disciple. Should have gone with that. He had too many variables coming in.
I don't know.
Should have paid Kiffin enough money to leave.
Yeah.
Bama tried all that for years with Barry Bryant, trying to hire one of his disciples or somebody. It didn't work a lot. I don't know if I was thinking that, but
yeah. Well, they wanted something
Kiffin
probably
would have. There's a
different.
lot of people that Kiffin won't. He pissed a lot of people off when he was over there coaching. They don't think they'll hire him. It wasn't about the money. I don't think. I mean,
Well, let's move on to the next one. Mr. Arch Manning down in Texas laid a egg, made some kind of bad mechanical throws, bad decisions. He kind of had every bit of it. It wasn't just one thing that kind of stood out, but it was his first real game against a real defense that's a well-coached team that didn't lose a lot from their championship team on defense from last year to now. So
I mean, he was missing passes in stride. That is my bad beat of the weekend. I refused to bet Texas last year because they haven't proved themselves in a big game, and here we go, week 1, and I'm laying the hammer down on them.
I mean, it was a
What an idiot.
defensive kind of a game. Like I'm not going to read that too much into that on this. It was at Ohio State, first big game on the road. I mean, he did look shell shocked, but I think he'll get better.
And technically, he had at some point in time in the game, and I don't know if he finished this way, but Julian Sayin had worse stats than Arch Manning did, and they still won the ball game.
Yeah,
so
but
it was big throws. It was like timely throws that were needed in third downs.
Big
it was
first downs.
big first, stuff like that. He was hitting some balls.
Yeah.
But
I didn't watch
when he
much
had nobody
of that
in
game.
his face.
I didn't watch much of that game. I was getting ready to go to the Ole Miss game, but
Well,
what I heard, he missed some like wide open throws. They were like
He
just
did.
terrible.
I mean, Ohio State ran the ball very efficiently.
Yeah.
And Texas didn't, and that makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
I'm looking here. Third down efficiency, Texas 5 of 14, Ohio State 3 of 12. Fourth down efficiency, 1 of 5 for Texas. Fourth down. One of those being big on the goal line there.
Yep.
Just got stuffed.
Yeah, I mean, the worst tush push I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, yeah.
God, that was terrible.
There was not much pushing.
No.
No.
I
It's
saw
like,
a bunch
let's
of
all
bad
dive in a
pushes
ball.
this weekend.
All right.
Leave that to Jalen Hurts.
Any other game? We know Arch is going to bounce back and make us all look stupid, and he's going to win
Yeah, he
the Heisman in
probably
2
will.
years. And everybody's
this
saying,
year.
y'all didn't know he was the wrong Manning son. They're like, who the hell's Cooper Manning? But the best athlete of them all. All right. Any other games this weekend? College that
Clemson, LSU, maybe.
LSU
Clemson,
looked-
LSU.
Yeah.
LSU looked good.
That was a
LSU
big
looked really
win.
good.
That game started off a little slow and
It
kind
did.
of a little bit of a rock fight, but LSU definitely. They looked. I don't know, and how good is Clemson? That's once again week 1. You don't really know anything.
25 first downs, 13. LSU to Clemson.
Yeah.
There was a lot. I mean, a lot of the games this weekend were big defensive games.
Yeah.
I mean, there was not just a lot of high-scoring games unless you had a big-name team playing a nobody.
Yeah, I think that's when even Lane Kiffin talked about it in his press conference today about parity.
Yeah.
Is the big word is that these people that weren't able to have these big money filled rosters and get the people that they wanted to get into a system that they now they can do that, and it's showing definitely on the defensive side of the ball for sure.
Tennessee's quarterback looked real sharp. They absolutely handled Syracuse, and Syracuse is normally a pretty good team. They normally play good with a tough defense.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Tennessee's new quarterback. I think they'll be real happy with him.
He looked better than who
Yeah.
transferred. He looked terrible. to
Yeah,
UCLA
that's what I was
Saturday
going to
night.
Nico
say. He
is-
looks
is-
so bad.
Nico's eating his words right now.
Yeah, he's so bad.
It was bad. Joey Aguilar looked good for Tennessee for sure, and there was questions about his actual arm talent and if he was just a system quarterback and all that. But he proved like he looked like he knew what he was doing.
Absolutely.
Back on LSU too, I guess they can claim they're the real Death Valley now. That was they were both of them were arguing who had the real Death Valley, Clemson or LSU.
Yeah, I believe that.
Which I mean, it's not even LSU's way tougher place to play, than Clemson is.
Well, our home schools we had Southern Miss fall short to Mississippi State. That was one of our bets.
Dan
One of my
Thursday.
bets, I'll take
Dan
full
Ray figured out who
responsibility.
Fluff Bothwell was,
Dan Ray did
Not
not know
really.
who Fluff Bothwell was.
but he does now.
He does now. He understands who Fluff is.
Looked like he won the game for him.
And if only
He
some
really-
more
he
boosters
really
would have
is.
given money to Southern Miss, they would have
coulda
won.
had him.
Yeah.
State looked pretty good. I thought their defensive back looked pretty good. I watched pretty much that whole game, and I thought they.
They look faster than they did
I don't
last
know
year.
about.
The
I'm
whole
still
team's
not
a little bigger
big.
too, yeah.
I'm still not big on shape, and he just ain't it. I don't.
He's
think.
not. He's just not impressive. I mean,
His
I thought
interception
he
he
played
threw
pretty
early
well.
was
I just said
bad.
that was the only mistake I think he really made though.
Yeah, he don't make many
He's a
mistakes.
game
He
manager.
just
Yeah, he
he
is.
just
The first half they were penalty ridden, especially in the red zone. Outside of that, tell the two halves. I think
they were penalty ridden bad. They could have had 2 more touchdowns the first half. They hadn't for
they
penalties.
could have ran off with it early in the first half, and penalties got them backed up. Settled for a couple field goals. Come out second half and just completely dominated
they
that
did
game.
exactly what they were supposed to
They
do.
might win this weekend. And they're getting 7 points at home. I don't know. I think that's going to be a good bet. State plus 7.
The only knock that I really have on Shapen is he's a good game manager, but I don't think he has the arm strength to make just those long downfield explosive throws.
Like he said, he's not going to make many mistakes either.
But you
though.
have
It's-
fluff.
We do
Yeah, they have Fluff.
We got Fluff.
The Bothwell.
If you can fluff it, you can do a
fluff
lot
it.
of things.
All right, so we had Ole Miss played Georgia State. Kind of not a lot to see there. Kind of did what we had to do. There was some interior offensive line stuff that looked kind of bad, but
Say offensive line looked kind of shaky early.
they hadn't played together, and all the normal things you
I
say
think
after.
the offensive line is going to be fine as long as nobody gets hurt, but that's a big if. Usually somebody, at least one, is going to go down. I think if they do, then
But they settled down. They ran the ball good.
Yeah,
Juan
they
Lacey
did.
looked good.
I was fixing to say, I mean, the run game was existent there. I mean, even last year in the early games, I mean, the run game really wasn't there.
I thought the D-line looked
The
good.
D-line looked really
Looked
good.
very
Really good.
Yeah.
The defense of all as a whole looked good, but the defensive line.
Just that one busted play cost a touchdown.
Yep.
You're
Yeah.
one busted play away
The
from running a
secondary
shutout.
still seems a little shaky, but I think they're going to be fine.
Yeah, I mean,
Wide
we
receivers
still look.
look real. I think it's going to be the best wide receivers that Kiffin's had.
Yeah,
at Ole Miss.
Would like to see Stribling catch some more balls and get more involved, but I think maybe he's just not as far along as watching those other guys.
Simmons made one
And-
bad throw, and it was pretty bad interception.
It was.
That other interception wasn't his fault. He got hit. That goes back to
the guard got beat so
That
bad.
goes back to the offensive
He got
line.
absolutely put into
murdered.
a washing machine.
Yes,
he
he
took
did.
one step and got his shoulder
Murdered.
pushed on, and it was over with. He was looking in the mirror over here for somebody.
We had mentioned that on the first episode. How Kiffin had mentioned in press conference that he needs to not try to pressure, throw balls into coverage, force something. And I think that pick in the end zone was just hey, let's run a stat up. Let's see if we can get a touchdown
he
here.
was,
and
he was
just-
definitely pushing that
That
ball
was a
in there.
press for sure.
Yeah, but if the guy in front, if the guy who picked it off hadn't have picked it off, there's about 2 more that would have picked it off behind. Like it was a bad throw, but you're gonna have some bad throws. That's just,
The one thing that I did see in Simmons is that Jackson Dart was willing to stand there and take a hit.
Yeah.
And he kept
Simmons took a couple good hits too.
he kept a lot of plays going that way, but he doesn't look for contact like Dart did. And I don't know that that's
Good.
necessarily
That's
a bad thing.
Dart always held up good. Most folks
But-
don't hold up that good.
But I mean, a lot of third downs last year were converted by him tucking
Yeah.
it, taking a hit, or putting his head down.
Speaking of Jackson Dart, too, they put their stats up for the first game that Jackson played in versus Austin Simmons. And Jackson played Troy, and he had 154 yards or something like that. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And Austin Simmons throws for 347,
Yeah.
2 touchdowns,
Absolutely.
2 picks. But, and Lane Kiffin said this as many words, too. It's like we had a different game plan. We threw the ball because they were deficient.
We didn't run the ball.
We didn't run the ball.
Forever.
Yeah, he's like,
Starting out.
it wasn't like we were trying to throw the ball, but that's just what
Well, you
we
didn't
were
have
game
to.
planning against, and that's what they wanted to play.
I mean, Ole Miss has guys out there running 4.4s, and I mean their defensive backs couldn't beat a 4. I mean they couldn't get 4.7
Georgia
if they
State
wanted
is
it.
not. I don't think they're that bad, but that quarterback looked good to me. I mean, they beat Vanderbilt last year. I don't think they're just god awful.
No, there was definitely some light in it, but I mean, if you look at Ole Miss, I mean, Ole Miss has the ability to be a top contender this year if they work everything right.
Yeah, the SEC. I didn't really see anything that. I think I'm more optimistic of our chances of making the playoffs after seeing the SEC week 1. I didn't see anything that really scared me. But LSU was going to be good. We already knew that.
But we get them at home.
Ole Miss is one of the most athletic teams on the field as far as the SEC. I mean, Ole Miss is super athletic.
And as good as Lenore Sellers looked for South Carolina, at times they looked beatable as well too. They didn't look like it was, like that was a rock fight for a little while in that game as well too, except for a couple of flashy plays like that were bust. But
I'm still just not sold on them. I still understand why they were talking about them last year. I mean, they're not a bad team, but I just don't see them being a playoff contender.
He really didn't play. Lenore Sellers really didn't play that bad. His offensive line kept him pressured.
Yeah.
Pretty much the entirety of the game. When he had time, he looked very poised, made good pocket throws, and I mean, he was running for his life every other play. I mean that's got a lot to do with
that'll
that.
change you for sure. Well, any other weekend games, college that we didn't talk about that want to chime in on?
No, that's pretty much it on my end, I think.
All right.
I did take one good bet last week.
What was that?
One good bet.
One good bet.
I took several. I mean, I lost my bad picks. My Saturday picks, they were all losers. But I mean, the other days I did pretty well. Auburn really shocked me. Auburn looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, Auburn has a fantastic defensive line.
I don't know about Baylor.
I don't either.
I'm suspect about how good Baylor's defensive line and offensive lines were.
Yeah.
They might have just come up against somebody who just didn't have a lot of talent up there because it didn't look like they looked like they were dominating Baylor, but Baylor didn't look like it was a struggle like they had the athletes.
Well, Jackson Arnold looks a lot more comfortable in
Baylor's offense
at Auburn than he did at Oklahoma.
I thought Auburn they had a lot of stuff they can improve on. I mean, that's good. They got a pretty easy win. I think they got a chance to be 9 or 10 win team this year if everything falls right for them. And defense is good.
Yeah.
I'll say this: Baylor's tight end may possibly be the best tight end in the country.
Michael Trigg.
That dude is good. He's fast. He's big and he's physical.
Yeah. And he's a shit.
We don't like talking about him in Oxford.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Never could get together in Oxford.
What a talent!
You saw what Lane Kiffin saw in him in that game. He had 12 targets.
He was really the only shining light of Baylor's night. Actually,
he was the only weapon that they had. Necessarily.
He was the only one they had loaded up.
My brother sent me a picture of some dead socks he got with Michael Trigg's name on them.
Yeah.
And right after the Baylor game, and he was like, "I hate these socks, but I still have them for some reason." Oh me.
Ship them to Waco.
So we got some. Do y'all want to do a quick reaction to the game tonight? The Bill Belichick, just for a few minutes, because it won't be much.
Bill
to talk
Belichick and North Carolina are top shelf grumbling.
They are top shelf.
I'm a Belichick fan. I like Tom Brady too. I don't get the whole argument between those two because Belichick, those first couple Super Bowls, Tom Brady was just like we were talking about a game manager. But I mean, towards the end of his career, I think he kind of carried Belichick a little bit, but I mean, he was a 6th-round pick for a reason, you know. I mean,
I think Belichick's going to figure it out. I mean,
it's
his first year playing college football. I mean, he brought 70 new guys in that hadn't played together.
Yeah.
I'm also kind of a little worried about where his head is at with his.
You notice he never got up nor down tonight. Like,
23.
He was just over there.
Well, they're not supposed to be good this year.
He's always been pretty emotionless.
He did that a lot in the NFL, though.
I mean, 73 years old.
Barely smiled.
I don't think he's there. I don't.
His girlfriend is super hot.
Nothing.
I think he's worried. What if he's just worried about that? Care less about coaching. But he did take the job. I don't know.
I mean, I don't think no one wants to lose.
I mean, North Carolina came up with what, like $20 million worth of NIL money.
Yeah,
so they spent a bunch of money.
They spent a bunch of money, and they looked like they had a lot of good athletes on the field. They just didn't play very well. There
was also I listened to a podcast the other day, and I can't remember who it was, but they were talking about NIL is great when there's actual players out there,
right?
But you might be overpaying for somebody who's the barrel left over. Everybody else is you're late in those periods and you don't have enough money. You're paying somebody a good amount of money, but they're not the same as that athlete that went somewhere else.
Well, that's more. I mean, they're fighting. North Carolina is fighting the SEC. The majority of the ACC. I mean, they're getting their leftovers and paying them millions of dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to take a guy that plays at LSU and gets that kind of NIL money to get him to move to Chapel Hill and try to buy into something that's going to take probably a couple years to build if he stays there.
Yeah, that's true.
I think he'll stay there. I think he's too. I don't think no NFL team. That NFL team might hire him, but I don't think they will. I think that's why he went ahead and took this job because
the Cowboys would take him right now.
No, we evidently won't, 'cause we hired Kyle Shanahan. We could have easily had Belichick. I'd much rather had Belichick.
Terrible,
Is that
terrible hire.
Is that one of Jerry Jones' long con games to get Bill Belichick by somehow
No.
sabotaging? So it's going to take
He
it.
should have done
It's
it.
a
He could have
46
done it already. He could have done it already.
Jerry Jones is
It's a
an idiot.
46-step process, and we're in step 14.
Speaking of Jerry Jones, the first NFL game was Thursday night.
Thursday night, what a great segue.
This is going to be a quick
Amazing.
recap for me. I've been thinking about it. I'm either not betting on this game or I'm taking Philadelphia. The spread's 7.5, but I'm not betting on the Cowboys.
If you
I'm either
were,
not betting it or betting the Philadelphia. One of
which,
the two.
and now we do have some weapons. I mean, we got George Pickens. That's a
gotta
big
see it
outside
first.
guy.
I'm for sure not betting on the Cowboys, defending champs.
I mean, he
How?
excelled at Pittsburgh last year with a washed up quarterback in Russell Wilson.
I do think he's. We got some good weapons on offense, but
I mean, what?
so does Philadelphia.
If I was to bet on it, and I'm
Way
not saying
better
I
weapons,
will,
way better.
but I will be on Philadelphia.
Yeah.
They're
going to be tough.
They're
But I feel like
tested.
everybody else and their brother is. I hate riding with the public heavy games
Yeah, but
on.
you know what? The public was
NFL.
right a lot during the NFL season last year.
7 and a hook.
They were.
How much pressure
Yeah,
is Dallas
7.5.
under though? How much is just pressure on Dallas to every? It was like Tommy Fleetwood trying to win a dadgum PGA event.
Well, you'd have thought last year it'd have been real
Like
pressure
Rory
filled
trying to
for
win
Dak
the
Prescott after the
Grand Slam.
$240 million signing deal. But I mean, he rolled it off like he didn't care.
My favorite game of the week last week was South Florida on Thursday night, and it won easy. I
It
guarantee it's not going to be this Thursday night. My favorite game, either way.
South Florida absolutely manhandled Boise State.
And Boise State was ranked too going to that game. They looked
Yeah,
terrible.
they've made a mock, just a complete,
You know what they were though?
mocker
Dan
of
Ray?
preseason rankings the last 3 years.
Yeah.
They were a road favorite. 66% of road favorites lose. I mean, that's
There's a few road favorites that won this weekend, but I guarantee you it was more
loss than
loss than one. I feel like I hadn't went back and looked, but
USF's quarterback, he was mean.
I didn't see this. So
He had that dog in him.
Somebody was saying after that game that he had a bunch of SEC like good offers to come transfer, and he decided to stay there because he liked that coach. But
Well, he looks
I
real,
believe
he looks
it,
real
'cause he
good in
did-
their offense.
48-14, TCU
48-14.
with 4.5 minutes left.
That's rough. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, all right. Moving on to you went into the NFL bets, and we're just going to talk about Thursday games, or do you want to go into just kind of
Yeah.
an overview of how you think the NFL is going to go this year?
We could thought we'd save that for the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I just want.
How do
say.
you think the Cowboys are going to look in the opening game though? I mean,
I just told you.
They said Dak Prescott is in
I
the
wouldn't
best
be
shape of his life.
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, just shocked if we went up there and played good or even had a chance to win. But I just don't. I'm not betting on it.
The Cowboys played a lot of good teams good last year. They just couldn't finish.
And Dak's got a good career record against the NFC East, but not in the playoffs. But in the regular season, he's on the NFC East in the regular season.
Well, it's pretty hard for the Cowboys to make the playoffs, it seems like.
Well, ain't that hard for us to make it.
They're in a tough
Yeah,
league.
It's hard for us to do anything when we get
They
there.
went from the easiest division in
Yeah, all that
the
good.
NFC to now it's
One of the toughest.
Yeah.
by far. It's,
I mean,
it's
they got
really
a
flip-flop.
gauntlet.
Yeah.
Not as bad as the Giants gauntlet the first 5 weeks.
Absolutely.
Good gosh.
Oof.
That's going to be intense.
Do y'all think Jackson Dart will start?
No.
Not
No,
starting. I mean, I wouldn't
Brian
be shocked
Daboll's-
if they made him the starter, but
Brian Daboll's going to stay the course for Russell Wilson.
I don't know. I mean,
He's
Jackson
not-
Dart
he's
looked
not
good.
starting.
Will he start
not week one.
not week one?
No.
No.
Will he start?
Yeah, I mean, do we think that he'll
So-
take over the job?
I think
I'm not
before the year's
sure,
over?
Yes, I think
Unless they're leading a division or got a real good chance at
I think they might
don't
have a
think
chance to surprise some people, but I don't.
I don't think as long as I don't think they're not gonna put him out there if there's a chance for
Because
them to make
Dart wasn't the
playoffs.
only one that looked. They had some guys
Yeah,
come in that looked
absolutely.
good besides Dart too. You know, they got a chance.
I was still shocked that New Orleans didn't pick Dart in the draft. I mean, he fits their he fits their offense real
And
well.
they're starting Spencer Rattler at New Orleans. I mean, come on. I'd rather have Dart right now than Spencer Rattler.
Well, you know, they
There's
did
no
t-
such thing as sunk costs. You can get rid of Spencer Rattler. It's fine.
Yeah, they did take Shaw or however you say it.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about him. I'd never heard of that guy.
He wasn't that
Tyler
impressive.
Shaw.
He wasn't that impressive at Louisville.
No, and he wasn't impressive backing up 8 yards and being
No.
tentative and always getting in pressure.
Yeah.
And not throwing the ball very well.
All right, well, save the rest of the NFL talk for
Yeah.
Thursday.
All right. Well, guys, have we recapped the weekend?
I think
I
so.
think it was a recap.
I think that was a recap.
All right, I want to thank Butcher Block Restaurant for letting us record here this evening. We're probably going to be in here a few more times as well, too. And we appreciate y'all listening. This is Top Shelf Grumbling with Dan the Don Walls. And we're going to have our friend here, Kyle, and Lil C. Peace out.
Deuces.
We'd like to thank our sponsors, Lawn Hub, Price Cutter, Russell Motors, Butcher Block Restaurant, and Wilder Fitness. You can find us anywhere you get your podcast, now on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe, and leave us a comment. Thanks for listening.